Welcome to the first video in what I intend to be a regular series, forming a course teaching the general principles of artificial intelligence. Over the following weeks, I shall produce a series of fairly large-scale videos explaining some aspect of AI and illustrated with one or more programs written in JavaScript. In their entirety, these videos will form a comprehensive university-level guide to as many aspects of artificial intelligence as I can manage. If you are currently at university, every aspect of your course should be covered in the list, at least once it's complete, and I trust it will form a useful teaching resource. The videos themselves fall into three different classes. Any video marked Theory contains nothing but teaching material, the basics of the course itself. Think of these as a series of lectures, and if all you want is to learn the principles of artificial intelligence, then these theory videos should be all that you need. Videos marked Code, on the other hand, take you through one example program per video to illustrate the theoretical stuff. For example, I will be explaining the general principle of how a computer could be taught to play a competitive game, like chess or drafts, and then give an example program that plays some sort of game. Although it might not be playing chess, that's a little optimistic for my coding skills. Rather than having to write down the code from the screen, these videos also contain a link to a web page containing that program on my own website, complete with explanatory comments. The idea is that you would then save that page to your computer the same way you would any other web page. Open the JavaScript up and dive straight into it. None of the code is copyright, so feel free to tinker with it and reuse it in any way you think fit. Each program is only a basic skeleton, just the barest minimum to give you some sort of functionality. It's up to you to adapt and improve it, and to stamp your own particular brand on it. The example programs themselves will never really rise above the level of what you might term toy programs, i.e. solving simple problems with limited use in the outside world. The function of the programs is nothing more than to illustrate the general principles taught in the lectures, not to provide powerful and flexible tools. There's nothing to stop you adapting the code I give you to increase its power and scope, of course. Indeed, I hope you will do just that. Just occasionally, I will upload a third type of video marked Extra, which is essentially anything that can't be classified neatly as either theory or code. While this might be something like a video answering viewers' questions, to the best of my ability, of course, I also intend to delve into the history of the subject and give overviews of some of the notable AI applications in the past. Being neither theory nor code, such diversions will come under the heading of Extra. I'm aiming to cover as many topics in the field of artificial intelligence as I can. It will be far too much for anyone to watch the whole series of lectures, so please do simply pick and choose the ones of interest to you. Perhaps just the topics that appear on your artificial intelligence syllabus at college. The intention is to start with symbolic AI, cover as many of the topics as I can, and then move on to neural networks. This is because neural networks is a largely open-ended area, whereas there haven't been any breakthroughs in symbolic AI for a good number of years. Most people who want to concentrate on the latest sexy thing in AI might want to wait a few weeks until I move on to the neural network part before diving in. Even so, I reserve the right to throw in the occasional lecture later on about symbolic AI if I discover that I've stupidly forgotten to include something earlier. Why JavaScript? Because it's a language that you almost certainly already have on your computer, providing you have a web browser of some sort, which is just about every computer out there. You won't need to install any particular software or use some online tool. You don't even need a connection to the internet itself, although if you're watching this, you almost certainly already have one. All web browsers have JavaScript built into them, and you will need to familiarize yourself with exactly how to use JavaScript on your particular browser in order to use this course. However, don't expect these videos to teach you how to code in JavaScript. Although I will explain any of the complex code I write, I assume you already know how the different features of the language work. I shan't be using any fancy add-ons like jQuery or JSON or the like in order to keep the code as simple and bog standard as possible. This way, it should be a straightforward matter to translate the code into whatever your preferred computer language is. There is one notable omission in JavaScript that needs to be pointed out, namely that it doesn't have any file access instructions. JavaScript was mainly designed to be for marking up web pages, and as such, it works well hand in hand with HTML, the language in which web pages are written. However, I can only think of a few AI applications that don't need data loaded into them, or which don't produce data to be saved at the end. I get around this problem with a fudge, using a standard HTML text area, like this one, coupled with two buttons, one for load and one for save. The idea is that the JavaScript writes out any data to be saved to your computer into this text area when you click on Save. You then select all this data and use the clipboard, i.e. copy and paste, to place it in a text editor like Notepad. From there, you can save it to wherever you want. Similarly, to load large amounts of data into the JavaScript program, copy it from your text editor into the text area and click on Load. Yes, it's clumsy and unsatisfactory, but it works. If there's a better way of getting bulk data into and out of a JavaScript program, please do let me know about it. By the time you hear this, I will have set up a Subscribestar account, and possibly even a PayPal page and a Bitcoin wallet too, linked in the description below. For those who might care to support me in my work, any donation will be gratefully accepted. I would also be interested in your comments, however negative. I thrive on negative feedback and welcome all criticism, both constructive and otherwise. Please also consider clicking on the like button and, of course, subscribing to the channel. So there you are. I hope this course proves useful and informative to you, and welcome any feedback you might have. Next, it's part 1 of the theory, which is an introduction to artificial intelligence.